I am forcing them to experiment for themselves. I want them to experience themselves, and then they will come to the right conclusion by experiencing what is there. Belief, I want to destroy that belief of any kind, either for or against. No, belief has no value. And by destroying all beliefs, he destroys doubt. I mean, there's a beautiful way, I mean, that's why he's called a master. He is unique that way. He rejects, this, look at him. At that time, he rejects all Vedas, all Shastras, all Upanishads. He said, I am not going to rely on them. What that good is going to tell me by reading Shastras? Nobody has reached truth. I am not going to rely on them. I am not going to waste my time on it. He rejects everything. He said, I have to find my truth. And that is his last word. Last word. Before he died, Ananda asked him a question. And he answers, Appo Dipo Bhava. You become your own diva. You become light to yourself. Don't rely on anybody else. And that is what I said before also. Ananda asked, what kind of gift I can give you? And he said, only gift you can give me, Anand, is be a witness to my truth. Mera gawah ho ja tu. And tell everybody that Buddha is saying is right. You experience the truth I have experienced, and that is the greatest gift that any disciple can give. अंगूठा काट कर देने की जरूरत नहीं है. You experience what I have experienced and tell everybody that Buddha is saying is right. Another great problem these people have is, this language. Language problem is a big problem. Big problem. Language is a big problem because they have to use the language that is understandable to the people whom they are talking. So that's where Gyani-ji, all confusion arises, because he says you have to be mindful. Mindful, he means a state of no mind. So Buddhists will interpret as you have to clear your mind. You cannot clear your mind. Mind cannot be cleared. You cannot have positive thoughts and negative. Thoughts means lack of peace. So whenever he says mindfulness, understand as a no mind. Reflection, Buddha uses the word reflection. It is interpreted as thinking. Reflection means thinking, reflect upon something. No, what Buddha says reflection means a clean image, mirroring truth as it is, unencumbered by, without any dust of thoughts. That you perceive is the reflection. So language has a great problem. Okay? The language that these guys have to use is a language that people understand, and that's why there is misunderstanding. As a matter of fact, there is one Sufi Sant known as Jabar, J-A-B-A-R. From that Jabar, the word gibberish has come into being. He has his own language. He was an enlightened being. But he uses his language that nobody understood. And that is what we call gibberish. If you ask these people, then they will have their own language. understand. So the next best thing what they do, they can't use the language they want to use. They can't use the ordinary language. So they all use our Vani, you know. शीर्षासन करके शब्दों को नाव में नदियाँ डूबी जाए. They have to all use these techniques because unfortunately that experience is something that cannot be conveyed. That's why have you ever thought why all these dharma granthas, all these religious books are in poetry? Why? All these, you know, Upanishads, everything is in poetry. Because without simile they can't, without rupak, that's all they can do. As I said, you know, you go to Mars and see a flower which is not on earth. What are you going to do? How to describe that flower? You have to use simile, you have to use rupak. That's why they have to use poetic language. It's all poetry. Okay.
All right.
Any questions?
Questions?
Similarly, all the religions ultimately say that meditation is the only way, right? All
No.
the Hinduism also says that meditation.
What?
All the religions in the end say that to realize the truth, meditation is the only way.
No, not the only way. You know, as I said, there are two ways.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
in
one is bhakti and one is, you know,
but
one
bhakti
is the
and
meditation.
also you are losing your ego and you are
Yeah.
surrendering. So
Correct.
you are really forgetting, you are really stepping out of yourself.
You know, what happens is, at the end,
Yeah.
at the end you reach the same state of Advaita.
Yeah, because
Okay, when in bhakti what happens that you have to rely on the other in the beginning. It is through other that you resolve yourself. So two are necessary. You know, all Western religions accept God as a separate entity. Okay? Then when you lose yourself, there is only one. You reach Advaita through Bhakti Marg also. But in Bhakti Marg you have to have other first. Okay? And they say that Bhakti Marg is full of love, anand. The path is full of flowers. Okay? Path is like Udhyana. Okay? Whereas in meditation, there is no other. You rely solely upon yourself. And they say it is a shushkama, it is a like desert, you know, loneliness, spirituality. But desert has its own beauty. Sannata, vastness. So it depends upon what is your svabhava. But there is mainly only two ways. And Ramakrishna is the only person who went through many doors. But there are mainly two doors to enter the temple. You know, through love you reach the temple, or through meditation you reach the temple. Once you reach the temple, once you reach that Advaita, then meditator becomes the same love. And the one who loves reaches the meditative state. There is no ultimate, after reaching, everything becomes, even one is not a good description, because that is a state which says they are unirvachanīya. Why? Because that Dvaita of Drashta and Drashya also dissolves. That Drashta and Drashya is also a duality which dissolves in that ultimate state. તો એ અલ્ટિમેટ સ્ટેટને માટે તમે જ્યારે હોય જ નહીં ત્યારે એનું વર્ણન કેવી રીતે કરશો તમે? How are you going? This is an impossibility. But that's the state. Which door you enter, it doesn't matter. And Ramakrishna has proven that you can reach through many doors. He was so compassionate. He didn't have to. Once you reach the temple, why do you go out and then enter to it? It doesn't make any sense. But he wanted to prove once more and all. Therefore, I believe that after Ramakrishna, why should you follow, different doors? What is this fight among various religions? It is so silly. So the ideal, thing is that one day there would be only one search for truth. Even the distinction between the objective search for truth and the subjective truth for truth, that also will merge. That duality will also be at, and that we call one. That's the ultimate religion. So the concept is that you create a human being who is so multidimensional, so open. This Homo novus, new man, should be like Krishna. He should be very scientific in the objective world. And poverty should not be a qualification for search for truth. There is no need for any renunciation. There is a story. Buddha is enlightened. He became enlightened at 35. And then he preached for another 42 years. And he comes back and, meets Yashodhara after enlightenment. And Yashodhara asks only one question. Only one question Yashodhara asks. Tell me, if you had not left us, would you not have found what you found? And Buddha keeps mum. What can he answer? He didn't have to renounce. He didn't have to renounce. So, a religion where no renunciation is necessary, no repression is necessary, where you accept life in its totality, in all its duality. A man who is capable of transcending all dualities. A man who is scientific, who believes in richness everywhere. He is materially rich, but he is not attached to that richness. A man who is scientific, who is materially rich, a man who is aesthetically very rich, he enjoys poetry, he enjoys music, he enjoys dance. He doesn't negate any aspect of life. And then he is also meditative. He is a true witness. He is a non-judgmental witnessing consciousness he reaches. So he enjoys life fully. It's a life accepting, not life negative. If we can create a human society which consists of these meditative people, fully meditatively aware, accepting life in its totality, accepting everything, the richness in material world, richness in spirituality, richness in aesthetics. That is an ideal, then there will be no need for various religions, various divisions. Right now what we are doing, we are fighting with ourselves. We are a split personality, we are schizophrenic. Because of the conditioning, because of what we are taught that you cannot be angry, even when there is a justification, we cannot be angry, so what we are doing? We are suppressing that anger which goes into our unconscious. Everything that is natural to us, everything which is our svabha, organized religions and our civilized society teaches us to suppress all these things and then we act. So we believe that he has a good personality. Personality, person, shabda comes from persona. Persona means mask. We are wearing mask all the time. Our true face we never show. When we talk to our boss, we have one face. When we talk to our servant, we have a totally different face. So, the religion is shifting your emphasis from personality to individuality. An individual is one who is not divided. So, if you can create a society of human beings which is multidimensional, rich in everything, not negating anything, not suppressing anything, accepting all, total acceptance of life as it is. And life is not Aristotelian. Life doesn't follow logic at all. Life has no obligation that can be explained through your mind. Who are you and what is your mind? There are billions of stars and trillions of suns, and you have this ego that everything has to be explained by my stupid mind. Life has no obligation. A real religious person is one who believes that everything is as it should be. You cannot change anything in this world. One name for Buddha is Tathata. Tathata. It is so and it is good. You cannot change anything in this world. It is as perfect as it is. Nothing else can be done. And there are many things that will happen which cannot be explained through the human mind. But it is the only way it can be done. There is no other way. If you reach that total acceptance, as Krishna does, then you are religious. And if you reach to that stage of consciousness, then all these divisions, all this duality, you reach the third layer, which they call vitarag or whatever name you want. You transcend both of them. You don't reject one or the other. You can't do that. I'll be non-attached. No. Attachment and non-attachment are two sides of the same coin. You cannot have life without death. Life and death are two sides of the same coin. You cannot have light only without darkness. It's all duality. It is so. That is how the world is. The beauty is what these people have found, that you transcend that. Don't, by negating you will not be able to do. And all of them have concluded that the problem is mind. That's why Christ is saying, be born again. Christian says, I am born again. What does that mean? Because the first birth is given biologically by your father and mother. But now you have to give birth to yourself. What are they saying by giving birth to yourself? You become as innocent as a child. You become childlike. Why do they say childlike? Because child is one who has not developed his mind yet. He is very closer to truth. Child will ask you all kinds of questions. He is not interested in your answer. Okay? Ask questions and you answer not, he doesn't care. He doesn't want to be explained. He's wonder, all the time wonder. He sees flower and he says, what is this? The enlightened being become just like a child. They are so wonder. It says Ramakrishna got enlightened man when he was 13. When he was 13, what happened? He was passing by a lake and he saw these swans flying in the sky. And he says, wonder of wonder, these white pure birds flying. He crossed his consciousness, it became samadhi to him at 13. So one way to reach that is to, that's why we call Dvija, twice born. It is the same thing that Christ says, born again. Be like a child, be that curious, be that, scientist is in analysis. He dissects the flower. He will lose all beauty. What about fragrance? You can't beauty and you can't find fragrance by dissecting the flower. A poet will look at a flower and then immediately he is into words describing it, how beautiful it is. Why do you have to describe? Experience it. Tennyson has written a poem. And I wanted to find out, what this beauty is, so I plucked them out. And Basho has written a poem, Japanese Basho, 3-line poem. Okay? And Basho says what? I don't know the kind of flower he describes. I have never seen it. It is a Japanese flower. But हमारे में धतूरा के फूल जो होते हैं, they grew by themselves. There is no mali, no nothing. They grew by themselves. And Basho writes 3 lines. Wonder of wonders. These flowers are flowering by themselves. He is stunned. And he ends the poem. In Chinese, they don't have the, question, Ascharya Chinna. So he says Kara or something like that. He's so stunned by the beauty of this Datura growing by itself. So if you can be that childlike, that state which child has when mind is not developed, he is in a state of no mind and is near the truth. So that's why they say that you become childlike, have that sense of wonder. Don't spoil anything by language, translating into language. Everything has to be explained, everything has to be described. We go and see the sunset in Grand Canyon. Immediately, not even a second, how beautiful. Why do you have to say, these people say, experience it, just, have that sense of wonder. So they say that witnessing consciousness is great. But if you can can't have that, then don't be in the body all the time. Don't be in the mind all the time. Come down from head to the heart. Heart is closest to truth. Your feelings are closest to the truth. Your sense of wonder is closest to the truth. Don't intellectualize everything. Don't try to explain everything. This is not a matter to be explained away. This is a matter to be